Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. When a game developer sticks to the rules of their own forums, I have to give them kudos, especially when the ban hammer comes down on both sides of the political spectrum. In this case, if you haven't heard, Helldivers 2 is becoming a rather popular game online with almost 500,000, 300,000 concurrent players at any given time. It's rather popular on Steam. Probably equally so on console. But this lovely little article, this lovely little, I like to call them non-traversies, this article comes from The Park Place. That Park Place. LGBTQ plus activists accuse Helldivers 2 developers of silencing them after they attempted to push propaganda into the game. Now, we always like the hyperbolic statements like this, but we'll go ahead through the article. I'll have a few things to say like I always do, because I'm full of nonsense anyway, but you make the decision on if you think if they were pushing propaganda, and whether or not the Helldivers 2 developers were silencing them. Numerous activists are accusing Helldivers 2 developers of attempting to silence them after they attempted to push... You're repeating... Oh, come on, stop doing that. I don't like it when I don't pay attention to this, when I don't see it right there. I actually did want to go through this article already, and I thought it was interesting enough to talk about, but the title and your first paragraph, your first line, they say the same thing. Move on. As reported by Endymion, numerous activists, it's a lot to say. Look, LGBTQ plus activists, that's a mouthful. That's what she said. Spoke with Polygon and accused developers Arrowhead Games of silencing them because that's what happens when you get hit by the ban hammer for breaking the rules in the forum. You are being silenced. There's no democracy here. Somebody else made that statement. Here's the thing. It's their game. It's their forum. And they have rules on said forum that you agree to when you become a member of those forums. And if you do not follow those rules, regardless of what you're trying to push or what ideology you decide to follow, whether it's in favor of or against the same as the developers, you broke the rules, you get hit with the ban hammer. One activist, going by the name Bapanada, told the outlet, quote, "The problem here isn't actually the bigots." Well, that's kind of funny. That's the problem that you're going to come across. That's the problem you're going to talk about. Those are an unfortunate fact of life that can never be fully eradicated. Well, just ignore them. Laugh at them, point. If you truly see them as bigots and you think there's something to laugh at, call them out. Point at them, laugh at them, call out their names on social media. I say this all the time. Show your receipts or shut the fuck up. The problem is that Arrowhead's official spaces have made the deliberate decision to silence LGBTQ plus voices under the guise of banning any political discussion, as if people's identity are political. I'm going to go over this whole sentence. And as if this game was not created and marketed as a heavy-handed piece of political satire. So this is a lovely little statement that's a lot to, let's digest it. Deliberate decision to silence LGBTQ plus voices because they have rules in their forum and you decided to break them. Under the guise of banning any political discussion. I believe their rules is they would like real-world political discussions not take place on the forums, and if you break that rule, you get banned. There's no guise, there's no subversion, there's nothing disingenuous about that statement. This is the rule. Follow the rule, or get booted. Okay. As if people's identities are political. When you make them political, when you allow your identity to be turned into a political weapon, you become a scapegoat. You become a useful tool for those who want to use your identity as a political weapon. You allowed it to happen. You go along with it. And these are the consequences. Unfortunately, people's identities have been used politically for decades and decades and decades. What makes you any different? What makes the LGBTQ plus demographic any different than any other demographic? You're all being used politically, regardless of your skin tone, sexuality, religious beliefs, or anything like that. It is what it is. Moving on. As if this game was not created and marketed as a heavy-handed piece of political satire, Yes, we all know this. Super Earth. Squash the bugs. Join the resistance to eradicate the bugs, to eradicate the automatons, and that's it. It's satire. It's make-believe fantasy. It's a video game. That has nothing to do with real-world politics. The game devs made the decision that they would prefer not to have any sort of real-world political discussion on their forums, and they have followed through with those rules on their forum, because they didn't just hit you with the ban hammer, the pro LGBTQ plus voices, because the article continues. Oh, in a little bit. Polygon Diego Nicholas Arguello, I'm terrible at this, Arguello, also claimed that an individual named Wendy Wilson demanded pride flag capes be added to the game in the official Discord server. Pretty sure she was banned as well. Why? Because there is only one flag, and that is the Super Earth flag. I wouldn't want any other flag. I wouldn't want a US flag or a Confederate flag or a pride flag or any other one of these flags if it's supposed to be Super Earth and Super Earth only. So if they don't want any of these other flags, no national flags, no country flags, no flags like that, why on earth should they allow pride flags in the game if they're not going to allow any other ones? So long, bye-bye, see you later. She changed her profile to a transgender flag because that's her little activism. Good for you. And I believe, oh, message was deleted. And another swarm of people DM'd her. Don't do that. Don't be a dick. Aguelo, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I don't care. Then detailed, quote, after posting a long message in the official Helldivers 2 Discord detailing the events and asking for proper moderation, she was timed out for 24 hours. Yes, because you're bringing in what they saw as political nonsense. Her message was deleted and another swarm of people DM'd her. Wilson informed Polygon, quote, disallowing discussion only causes LGBTQ members of the community to hide while the bigots get to remain. Well, when you break the rules and bring in LGBTQ plus discussion into the forums where they ask you not to, you're breaking the rules and you pay the consequences. Interestingly, a number of players in the game's Steam forum have indicated they were kicked from the game's Discord for opposing the LGBTQ plus propaganda in the game. So what you're telling me is that people in favor of of alphabet representation in the game, alphabet flags and all this pride flags and stuff, they got kicked, they got banned, they got hit with the ban hammer. As well as people running their mouth opposing the representation, the flags, and what they see as propaganda in the game. It's propaganda. They got hit with the ban hammer as well. So, I don't see the problem here. Stick to the discussion of the game. Keep your real-world ideological nonsense out of the discussion forums, which is what they've asked you to do, and you won't get hit with the ban hammer. How many times have I said ban hammer? Somebody give me a counter. User Caliber X0 posted, quote, so someone started posting all the dirt on the LGBT stance. You forgot the Q and the plus of the devs. And I got kicked out because I questioned why this group of people need their flag everywhere and why should they get a flag put on as capes when nobody else will. The moment I posted that shortly after, I was kicked out of the Discord. Yeah, because you brought up a real-world political discussion when they asked you not to. Am I sounding like a broken record again? Not gonna lie, this censorship and lack of democracy, are you trolling? Lack of democracy is getting old. So let's go over a few things. Again, they have rules. Discord servers, people set the rules. When you break the rules, whack. I don't understand why this is confusing. Censorship in a private forum. Okay. Censorship only goes so far. You are not on a public forum. There is nothing about a Discord forum that is a public forum. It's private. You need invitations for most of them. If it's public, you still have to get a link to find the forum. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know a little bit. I know very little bit about Discord. I have my own Discord server, and everything I've seen, I have to send out an actual link that's random, that's created, and that expires. That does not sound like a public forum to me. Therefore, and also on my Discord, I can set rules on what you can and cannot do. That's not censorship. Those are rules. If I don't like what you have to say, and if you're starting to get a little bit too far one side or the other, volatile, toxic, I'll dump you off. Just like anybody else that runs a Discord forum, Discord server. And the Steam forums, again, these are rules. In an edit, he also posted, quote, "The point I had tried to make, as I have on Reddit, good luck not getting banned on Reddit for having a different opinion, is that if you give the cape to them, you must give it to everyone." Again, you brought up outside nonsense, something they don't want on the Discord, something they don't want on the forum, and you paid the price. As a final message to those who support this censorship, you're using that word incorrectly. To protect your fragile ideology, my goodness, you're no better than the other side. To this, I say one simple thing: seethe more, yes we will, and your hatred of diversity. What the hell? Diversity of thought only brings more awareness. Did you do this on purpose as a troll? Oh my goodness, you're sounding like the other side. Here's the thing. People are playing this game. They don't want any political nonsense, real-world political nonsense in the game, regardless of whether it's conservative, liberal, centrist, left, right, far left, far right. Nobody wants any of that in this game. This is a power fantasy. Kill the bugs, rinse and repeat. Kill the automatons, rinse and repeat. Fight for your plot of land. Push the bad guy back, or what we see as bad guys. Heard a lot of different discussions on, oh, it's fascism. It's a video game. It's fantasy. It is a power fantasy with what appears to be a fantastic gaming loop. And the devs have decided they don't want your I can't even say real world nonsense in their forums, in their discussion. And they don't care what side you're on. And for that, I will applaud them all day, every day, because honestly, that's all we want as gamers. Keep your real world bullshit out of our escapism. And it looks like the devs of Helldivers 2 are enforcing that desire. Go play this game. I might have to start playing it more and more because I bought it. I own it. Ha! But I still have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to take care of. But anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think this is censorship, silencing? Do you think it's propaganda? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.